Another rental and another rental I spent way too much money on, guys. What's up, guys? It's McKeown back again with another video. It's been a full week that I haven't uploaded a YouTube video because I've been meaning to put this video out, but it's taken a little bit longer than anticipated. And as we are speaking, we actually have a tornado warning just about 45 minutes away from here. So we're gonna try to finish this video out as soon as possible so we can get out of town before that happens. But if you guys have been following my channel, this is a rental property that I purchased back in December. And to be honest with you guys, it was a property that just fell in my lap. It was a property where a good friend of mine, an agent, said, hey, I've got a property in Fort Worth that may make sense at this price. Took a look at it and decided to purchase it out of the blue. Now, if you've been following my channel for a little over a year, last year I did something similar to this to probably an even larger extent. I spent over $100,000 on that remodel. However, that was a full BRRRR method. I was able to refinance out of that, get a good interest rate and pull a lot of my cash out. In this case, I'm not using the BRRRR method, mainly because if I were to refinance now, I'd get a horrible interest rate. But we're gonna get inside here real quick because it's starting to downpour. But when we first went with this house, the entire exterior of the house has since been painted. Also, this is a brand new garage door. Walking into the entrance here before it gets too crazy with the rain, you can see down here in Texas, if you have any foundation work done, you can tell that it's been done based off of the concrete surrounding your house. So this is actually relatively new concrete. We fixed the foundation. There wasn't a ton of work that needed to be done with the foundation, but it was something that needed to be addressed. So coming on in here, to be honest with you guys, everything's been done in the house, and I'll walk you through every single thing in the house. So the interior of this house, to be honest with you guys, everything's been done. The first thing that was the most frustrating was the decision of the previous owner to decide to just do some ugly Spanish style texture throughout the entire house. And I got a couple contractors in here and everyone was saying it's much cheaper and time effective if you just demo all of the sheetrock and redo the texture and paint. So this is all new sheetrock here. Back in the day, which we have some good footage of, this was tore down with no sheetrock. So we put up new sheetrock, obviously new floors, paint, texture, scrape the ceilings off, new ceiling fan. This is newly painted, and there are some touch-ups that still need to be done, such as the paint just on the top of the mantle here. This flooring here is gonna be great and last a ton. It's a new LVP that's essentially being done in just about every rental property. Longevity here is gonna be far better than carpet. Carpet I'm gonna have to replace consistently if I was. But the nice thing about this property is you've got two bedrooms downstairs. These two bedrooms downstairs are both basically going to be kids' bedrooms, and you've got a full bath that, again, everything in here has been completely remodeled. We've got new vanities, we've got new tile, we've got new backsplash throughout. Technically, that's the original tub that was in here previously, but even new lighting in the bathroom as well. Now going out to the kitchen here, this, initially we thought about getting rid of this wall. The main reason is it's just technically a half wall and it would really open up the rest of the living room to the kitchen. But the downside is if you do demo that wall, where are you gonna put your appliances, or where are you gonna put any additional cabinetry besides just this wall? The answer is really nowhere. There was really nowhere else to put it. So we kept with the half wall here. We did new quartz countertops. Again, the difference from paying for quartz and granite is not a ton, but the quartz looks substantially nicer than a level 1 granite, kind of the speckled granite you may see in a lot of flips. That speckled granite, to be honest with you, it just shows that people are kind of trying to cut corners and do as cheap as possible. Technically, these two items right here are original from the house. This is the oven that was still with the house when I purchased it, and the fridge that came with the house. Both are still in working order, but I did have to get a new dishwasher. Cabinets, I intended honestly on keeping, but the shape that they were in was horrible. So all new cabinetry, and even these cabinetry are indeed slow close. We did some open shelving here to really, make it a little bit more modern and more appealing to a younger generation. This leads into kind of a random room. I think before there was a punching bag in this room or something there, it wasn't really useful. Here is technically like a formal living room, but whatever the tenant decides to use in this space, it's additional square footage, whatever it may be. Again, same thing, new baseboards, paint, texture, new lighting, new floor. And this is also brand new. It's a brand new sliding glass door. Before, this was a wood rotted door that I don't honestly know how is even staying there. This leads to the first master. Yes, it's a unique property with technically 2 masters. Just to get an idea, guys, of how large this room is, I can't even give you the dimensions, but you can see it's massive. And this is the downstairs master. The cool, unique part of this property is I think it's probably gonna rent best to multi-generational families where you've got, grandma and grandpa downstairs, or maybe, one set of parents downstairs and another set of parents upstairs, because there's truly 2 masters. Walking into here, you've got, again, the same setup as the other bathroom, just more square feet, a little bit larger, and instead of a tub, you have a standalone shower. Now, previously, this did have a tub and there was some plumbing issues, so we did fix that, as well as tile completely out that standalone shower. When it comes to the backyard, honestly, I didn't do much. I'm just gonna clean it up and call it a day. Similar to the last rental property that I did last year, I got a tenant in place that wanted to pay what the rent was that I was asking, with the backyard still a little bit messy. And they've been living there for about 6 or 8 months with no issues. So I'm not gonna be putting a ton of money into the backyard. To be honest with you, landscaping wise, I'm not putting a dollar into this property. Heading on up to the upstairs master, this is the only carpet in the entire house. The reason why I like that, the LVP obviously is super durable and reliable. Carpet though, you have to replace almost every single time you get a new tenant. Now, if you get a tenant every single year, this isn't very expensive because it's just on the staircase alone, but material and labor, I'm probably looking between $300 to $400 in carpet here. But you can imagine if I got carpet in this upstairs bedroom that is quite large, it would be substantially more expensive to replace carpet here every single year. So again, LVP throughout the second floor master. A couple additional items here. These are both, they even still have technically the sticker on them. But these are brand new windows over here. Again, another brand new window here. And this window over here had to be replaced as well. So all new windows upstairs. Technically, the windows have been replaced throughout except for the front entry windows. And again, just like the other 2 bathrooms, you've got a completely remodeled bathroom up here with a decent sized vanity. Kept the toilet up here, but still tiled the rest of the shower. A couple little nitpicky things. We did replace one of the HVAC units. The reason why we replaced it was because the ductwork was not done properly. So they actually installed new ductwork. Because it's technically like a 1.5 story, there's no attic space for the ductwork to run through. So you actually see some ductwork ran through here as well as over here. And this is actually going to insulate and heat and cool this upstairs master far better than just one particular HVAC unit. We have 2 now. So the biggest thing with my channel and the reason why I wanted to start creating YouTube content for you guys was to give transparency. To give you guys a little bit of glimpse into my life, one of the first people that I ever met when it came to real estate was someone off Bigger Pockets. If you're not familiar with Bigger Pockets, you need to jump on that website as soon as possible. It's where I started my entire real estate journey. Well, at the time I was a novice, I lived in San Antonio. I wanted to network with whoever I possibly could. So I reached out to a guy that was very successful at the time in San Antonio. I wound up getting lunch with him, but that was the issue. I showed up for lunch and the whole intention of him being there was just to answer any questions I had. As soon as they were answered, he was done eating, he walked out. There was no real relationship built at all, and I even, as a teacher at the time with no real estate background, wound up paying for his lunch, which again, at the time, I saw him as someone that was very experienced, someone that I could look up to, and to be honest with you, fast forward 4 or 5 years later, I hear he's not even in the business. So I knew early on, honestly guys, from day one, that was not who I was gonna be. I was gonna be someone that provided a ton of education, a ton of transparency, a ton of honesty at the end of the day, and just give people the real side of real estate. Because to him, it was all, glory. It was all a ton of money that he was making, and that was not the truth. At the end of the day, he was overspending for a ton of his remodels. He wasn't making a ton of money, and he wound up leaving the industry far sooner than I've even been in the industry myself. So again, guys, the whole intention with my channel is transparency, showing you what truly goes into some of these remodels. I know the last 2 remodels that I've done have gone far above what I've really intended on paying. That's a personal decision at the end of the day for me. I know those 2 remodels that I did are gonna be houses that I hold forever. Not technically forever, but I'm gonna be holding for a very long time. These are not flips. These are not properties at the end of the day that I'm looking to cut corners on. I'm putting a little bit, or in sometimes a lot more money into them, knowing that I'm just gonna be able to hold them for decades to come. Now, there may come a time where I may refinance them if interest rates are good, or I may take a cash be there for a long time. So with that being said, I'm gonna have a part 2 to this video with the numbers, with me sitting down with you guys at the end of this week discussing you the true numbers. What did I really purchase this for? What did I really spend to the T? Absolutely what I paid every single contractor, and again, I got screwed over by another contractor, but lessons learned again in remodeling this house, and I found a handful of great people that I know and can trust moving forward for future work. I can say single-handedly one of the most difficult issues when it comes to real estate and owning rental properties and remodeling properties is finding people that do solid work and honestly do it at a fair price. There's a saying actually in real estate that there's 3 things: price, quality, and time. You can't have all 3. So you've got to have 2 of the 3. Well, the issue is I've had so many remodels, I think 3 at this point, where I've tried to pay a contractor and have gotten absolutely screwed over in terms of them just walking away with my cash. So there's definitely a ton of lessons to be learned, including lessons learned in this particular property, but I'm done after about 2 or 2.5 months, and I'm putting it on the market tomorrow. Once again, guys, stay tuned for the second part of this video where I really go down to the numbers and explain to you why it made sense for me to purchase this property, even when I didn't technically even have the cash at the time. I had to push out a couple of closings in order to get the cash to close on this property, but it's gonna be a cash flowing property for many years to come. So thanks again, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help, and stay tuned for the next video.